It's like a heart attack. And country needs one.
But like you said, people are too busy. So I mean,
right? But if everybody calls off work on the same day, and on top of that, organizes and protests, gets together. You know, I don't live too far from Tulsa, but I guarantee you, if thousands of people called off work, they had nothing to do with it. Head on downtown, occupy Tulsa. Eventually, you just run out of places for people, and everything's going to start bogging down. There'll be so many people, there's no way to direct it all. You just overflow with people. You know, if you've ever seen ants, you know, the way ants take over.
Right.
Sheer numbers. Not 100 protesters here and 100 protesters there. Well, they did that in Philadelphia on purpose. Just put all the protests up all over town. They didn't want people to see exactly how many people were there.
Right. That's why they had them in little sections. Like, you can be over here, you could be over there. I remember that.
It's got to fit their narrative. We're letting the media control our lives. Pretty soon it's going to be like The Running Man. You ever see The Running Man?
Yes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, it is crazy how it's like going on right now.
That's where we're headed. We're headed to The Running Man. You're running for your life.
Basically the Hunger Games too.
Yep. I read one of those books. I don't remember which one it was. Back when I was reading a book a day.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but we got to get up.
What's it going to take? What's it going to take? That's what I ask the people. What is it going to take for you to not eat at all? Is that what it's going to take? It'll be too late by then.
Well, there's an old saying, there's an old saying that says, one day the poor will have nothing left to eat but the rich.
Yep.
That's how it winds up if we don't put a stop to the oligarchy. I keep quoting JFK. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable.
Yep.
So at some point, the general public is going to have to be the ones. What percentage of people vote in the primaries? Everybody else is just counting on those people to take care of it.
Yep. There's only 9% of the entire population who decides elections.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Sad. I about puked when I read that statistic.
A lot of it's a dumbing down of the people.
Yeah.
A lot of it's them that convince you that it just doesn't matter, that your vote doesn't count. I mean, they just did it to an entire generation, the largest voting bloc in the country.
Yep.
The single largest voting bloc in the country, the millennials, just got completely disenfranchised because they phone banked and they canvassed and they organized and they became involved and they voted and they got robbed.
Yep.
They want all those kids to go. All you kids go back to your Pokemon Go. Yeah, we screwed you. See, that's what happens when you stand up. You just got slapped back down.
That's why democracy is a lifestyle. It's not a thing. You live it, breathe it. It's part of. It should be a duty. Anybody don't stand up for if they don't stand up for democracy, in my opinion, you should be put in prison for treason.
Correct. Abraham Lincoln, to sin by silence when one should protest makes cowards of men.
Yep.
You know, so everybody that's sitting by and not doing anything, letting somebody else worry about it, you're complicit. I say it all the time, if you're not part of the cure, you're part of the problem.
Yep.
You know, we can all do more. Nobody's doing enough. And one person out there telling me, I'm doing enough. Some are doing more than others. Everybody has different roles, things that they're good at that they could be doing.
Yeah, and instead people are using it for personal gain or using it for a hobby rather than something to help the collective humanity.
Mm-hmm. But the TV set has trained us not to give a shit.
Yep.
To only care about ourselves, to care about how we look, what kind of car we're driving. You know, how luxurious can our home possibly be?
Right.
You know, that's what we're supposed to be worrying about. Worry about you. Take care of number one. You know, there's no we. You know, everybody talks about making America great or how things used to be and blah, blah, blah. I'd like to know exactly which time in the United States history they're talking about.
Yeah, man.
I really would. Now, if you want to go all the way back to the 1600s and 1500s and, you know, all the way back to when we first got here, just landed. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about then? You know, are we talking about the 1950s? A lot of people keep saying, a lot of people, I hear that, post World War II. It was a big boom time for the United States right after World War II. Soldiers all came home. We were the manufacturing giant of the world. 95% of all the world's manufactured goods came from the United States after World War II. A lot of people call that, get back to the way things were then. Well, then, the highest tax bracket was up around 90%. Unions were at their strongest. Well, wait a minute. We don't want to go back to that. God damn it, pick a time then. These people can't do it. It's just like trying to pick a Hillary Clinton accomplishment. They can't do it. To name something she did as Secretary of State that was had a positive outcome. Well, she stopped Haiti from doubling their minimum wage from 31 cents an hour to 62 cents an hour. Yeah, she helped pull that off. Coup in Honduras. Let's see. She got Muammar Gaddafi killed. All because they wouldn't take a Rothschild bank. That's all that was about.
Yep.
He had his own currency. You know, where's all that gold? You're going to ask the United States and France where that gold went.
Right.
But you know what? That in the grand scheme, it's not even worth talking about. Goddamn, the Pentagon lost $6.5 trillion. Yeah, we got people complaining. Well, why should I pay for him to be on food stamps? You know, why do you care?
Right.
Why do you care if a tiny sliver of your taxes helps feed a kid or an entire family? When
right.
it's less than $100, it's closer to like $40. If you make $50,000 a year, $40 you spend towards social welfare in the United States. But it's in the thousands what you spend for corporate welfare.
Right.
But people don't complain about that. Why? Because the media doesn't talk about it. All they talk about is the divide about, they'll put some nitwit on Fox News talking about how he shouldn't have to support some kid in the inner city of Detroit, because a fraction of a penny went to help that kid.
Right.
And at the same time, he's spending dollars, blowing a dollar, and is too stupid to know it. Because he's been dumbed down by the same media that's creating the story. So how do we do it? We have to create alternative media sources. We have to do that. The more the merrier. Antoine, you're doing that right now. You're doing a fine job of it.
We all are.
Yeah. But we have to wake people up. And I agree we have to start occupying. If the 99% comes together, we will win.
Yep.
We could turn it into union negotiations. We're shutting this shit down. We have shut this airport down. We're going to do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. Because it doesn't even take that many people to shut the airport down.
No.
I've flown in the way security is now. Man, you could screw up an airport. One lady screwed us up for 3 hours because she jumped over the terminal. They ended up having to empty Denver International Airport. And they let everybody back in again.
Right.
We could systematically screw everything up with a little bit of organization. Because there's a whole lot of unemployed, underemployed, and pissed off young people out there. Plenty of them. And they don't want to vote for Hillary. They tried to vote for Bernie. I don't know if you remember me stating a stat before that 1 out of every 8 Democrats, that's 12.5%, 1 out of 8 Democrats lives in California.
Yep, I remember
That's a lot. That's a lot of Democrats in that state.
Yeah.
Millions of people were disenfranchised. Young people purged from the rolls. You know what? California can be shut down really easy because you've got a whole bunch of pissed off people there.
Yeah.
They won't count their vote. Well, they can count their protest then.
Oh, crap, man.
Everything that comes from China comes through California.
Yep.
Shut them ports down. Shut them ports down in California and watch the Chinese goods stop. There's so much we can do to hit the 1% where it counts. We've just got to get organized. We've got a little bit of time. We don't have a lot, but we've got a little bit of time. People can do it. We need organizers. It's hard to convince people to take a chance.
Yeah, I was going to say that we need organizers who aren't afraid to die for this thing.
Right. Bernie Sanders, when it all began, was arrested for what he believed in.
Yeah.
He fought segregation in the housing in the college he went to, University of Chicago, and was arrested for it. How many
he
million
chained his leg
people?
to that lady.
Mm-hmm. How many million people can they arrest? They can't arrest us all. That's what people don't realize. Yeah, they can arrest 100 protesters. They can arrest 1,000 protesters. They can't arrest 10 million protesters.
Right.
Ain't nowhere to put us. You can't arrest us all. If we get up and get together, we are the overpowering force.
Yep.
You know, in the meantime, we do what we can. We spread the message. We promote Jill Stein. We got to get a third party viable. You know, I'm telling you right now, she in a free, fair election, she'd probably already beat Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
But anybody who thinks it's going to be a free, fair election is fooling themselves.
Yeah, and people got to do what they were doing during the elections, the primaries, and they got to take their phones and take pictures of their votes and follow up on their votes. And as soon as you vote, call back. You know, you got to do those little things. It's a damn shame you got to do it, but you got to do it.
What we need is paper ballots.
Yeah,
everybody votes on a piece of paper. It's a paper ballot. You know, and even when they audit these paper ballots, they audited Chicago, and they got caught cheating and didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
They're like, yep, we got caught. Look, San Diego, they got caught whiting out ballots. Whiting out Bernie's name. We sure did. Nobody does a damn thing. If you want to revolutionize, you got to get up and organize. You know, the media is doing everything they can to try and separate us right now. Send burners in all different directions. That was their plan. You know, and to some extent, it's been working.
Yeah.
But we've got to come back together as a nation. Not as Republicans, not as Democrats, but as a nation. And we've got to forget all the hate. You know, we've got to forget all our prejudices. You know, some of that's ingrained in us, and some of it's through our parents, some of it's through media. But what it all adds up to is a loss for everybody. Because then the 1% just sits back, keeps raking it in and raking it in. You know, they talk about the redistribution of wealth, and we can't have socialism, redistribution. It's not really redistribution, it's unredistribution. Because since the 1960s, income inequality has grown to where it is today. It didn't used to be this way. Well, there's people alive that didn't live this way. Sure, income inequality always existed. It's always going to exist. But it's the levels that it's existing at now that are staggering. You know, everybody hears Bernie has said it, God, 1,000 times about 95% of the wealth going to the 1% and the blah. You know, they've heard it so many times, they've become numb to it. They're like, yep, they're going to get it. We're going to get pissed on again. It's like people have been taught to just accept it. That's what's going to happen. We got to unlearn it, unredistribute it, unteach people. People need to remember and realize that it's of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, the Constitution gives us the right to abolish and replace a tyrannical government.
Yep.
It's the right and responsibility of every one of us. The checks and balances. Well, Antoine, I'm only going to do an hour today. I got a little daughter that's she really wants some attention from her daddy.
All right. Well, let me play this one last clip quick for the listening audience just so they can go out on this, because this is Bernie Sanders back in April 11th. And this should sum up everything for everybody. So I'm going to just play this clip real quick here. And it's just a 2-minute clip, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Is that when millions of people stand up and fight, they win. That's it. And when people do not stand up and fight, we lose. Now, what is going on in this country is a moment which is kind of historical. It is an extraordinary moment because the problems that we face as a nation are probably more serious than at any time since the Great Depression of the 1930s. That's the truth. And if you throw in the planetary crisis of climate change, it is possible they are more serious. The first major point that I want to make is that the problems we face do not come down from the heavens. They are made by bad human decisions. And good human decisions can change them. Despair, one of the problems that we have got to deal with right now, I think Jim was referring to this, is all over this country. You got a lot of bright, decent, good people. They're saying, you know what? The situation is hopeless. You can't beat the Koch brothers. You can't beat the billionaires. You can't win. I'm giving up. That is exactly what they want us to believe. And I beg of you, do not enter that world of despair. We can win this fight if we stand together. In order to win this struggle, we are going to need nothing less than a political revolution. And let me tell you what I mean by a political revolution. When, as was the case in this last election in November, when 63% of the American people chose not to vote, when 80% of young people, when 75% of low-income workers chose not to vote, what we need to do is create a momentum so that 70, 80, 90% of the people vote, and when that happens, we win hands down.
And that was the clip.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. You know, I can't believe 63% didn't vote. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, that means 37% voted. That's just a sad number. You know, you look at places like Denmark, where Bernie Sanders talks about some of the programs, you know, using as a model, some of the things that Denmark does. And Denmark's definitely got it going on. Sure, everywhere's got their troubles. But in Denmark, you can check, they've got, their elections are like 70 and 80% people voting.
Yep.
Well, you know what? If everybody votes, you better do what the people in general want. Because we all want the same thing. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you know, if you're a Libertarian. It doesn't matter what you are. We all want the same thing. We all want a better life for our kids, you know?
Yep.
Everybody who votes does. Yeah, there's cretins out there that don't give a shit. They're probably not voting either. But us voters, we want what's best. Well, if 80% of the population of the United States voted in this election and voted for Jill Stein, Hillary Clinton couldn't steal it. Because it would be an overwhelming, I mean, is bad. California was off by 23%, the machines, to the exit polls. That's a ridiculous number. And the provisional ballots were even a higher percentage. The provisional ballots were like something like 80% going to be Bernie.
Yep.
So what would so California was just a phenomenal amount of cheating, which ultimately is what got Seth Rich killed. But anyway, the cheating would have to be on such a grand scale that it would make California look ridiculous. If 80% of America stood up and voted for third party, and actually got out there and voted.
Yep.
You know, so many people that, I mean, I know people that were pro-Bernie that didn't go vote in the primary.
Same here.
Well, why not? No. Well, why didn't you? I just didn't. My vote don't count. It's just one vote. With all them thousands of votes. I'm voting to make a difference. There's people that are always going to think that way. And they're like bringing their own prophecy true. Because, yeah, if you don't vote, then your vote don't count. But you know what? After what happened in California, you know, I know they're protesting there still, but they should be shutting that state down, demanding that they decertify the election results there. Just rising up. You know, I can't complain too much to Oklahoma. They didn't cheat. We won.
Right.
You know, I
Which
knocked
was
on my
a shocker.
doors.
It shocked the media that Oklahoma would vote for Bernie.
Man, because I fought hard for him.
Hey, one makes a difference.
That's right. I tell you what, anybody who doesn't think one person can make a difference needs to watch that video where I got to hold my I Am Seth sign right up to Hillary Clinton's motorcade driving by. If anything,
that was awesome.
If anything, she knows I know.
Right.
I just wish the windows wasn't tinted.
Yeah, so you can see the look on her face. Yeah,
I'd like to see it. I probably still have nightmares, though. I was probably better off not seeing it. I can still sleep well at night. She pulled some Freddy Krueger bullshit on me. All right, well, I'm going to end the show here. Like I said, it's Labor Day weekend. I got some family stuff to do. We did a 2-hour special. So.
Yeah, if you guys want to go back to the archive, the Green Party radio show, if you go to www or, blogtalkradio.com/BurningCratsRadio, and then just click Green Party radio show special edition, or you could go to their YouTube page, just put in the search box Green Party radio show, and you can go listen to it from YouTube if you like. Also, be on the lookout tomorrow for Real Talk with Chad Cushman, and that's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Tuesday, we have United We Stand's premiere, I believe. And then, I believe that's all that we have for the. Oh no! Be on the lookout also Wednesday for my show, the Burn Green Room, and that's going to be episode 8. So be on the lookout for that on Wednesday. That's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that, hope you guys have a good morning and a good afternoon, and thank you for hanging out with us here on the Green Party radio show. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Larry?
Oh, no, that's it. You guys have a good day.
All right. See you guys.
All right.